Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. Today we have a youth-oriented program. Specifically, we'll be talking about the Suffolk Office on Youth and all the great offerings that that program provides for the citizens and the young people in Suffolk. As well as we'll be talking about some great opportunities for parents and children alike to get involved for spring break camps, summer camps, all kinds of camps, a lot of which registration dates are coming up pretty soon. So stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're joined now by Jennifer Branham, the Youth Services Coordinator here with the City of Suffolk. Jennifer, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And, let's start out by talking, we're going to talk a lot about youth and youth events and activities that your office helps coordinate. Talk about what the Suffolk Initiative on Youth is, and, of course, then its byproduct, which is the Office on Youth, which, of course, filters into everything we're going to be talking about today.
Right. Well, the Suffolk Initiative on Youth started back in 2006, and it was an opportunity for the city to take a look at the issues that youth were facing in the city. And they did that by way of bringing law enforcement, the general public, faith-based organizations together.
Right.
And they had some roundtables, and they talked about these issues, and hence from that, the crime prevention plan was developed, and that is what we now know as the Suffolk Initiative on Youth. And as a result of that, the Office on Youth came into being, and that is what I do. I oversee the Office on Youth.
Right. Now, I know one of the events one of many events we're going to talk about, but it recently happened, and I understand it had a rave of reviews. Was a Youth Empowerment Forum.
Yes.
And it was over at the Suffolk Armory there. But tell us a little bit how that day went, and really what came out of that day.
Okay. It was actually a day that was kind of coordinated by Suffolk Youth Advisory Council. They themselves wanted to get input from their peers about the issues that they had addressed earlier in 2011, things like gang awareness, bullying, teen domestic violence, teen pregnancy, substance abuse, self-esteem and self-awareness, and actually music and media.
Okay.
So as a result of them having that discussion, being a voice for the other youth in the city, they wanted to get their input. So this was planned and coordinated so that could happen.
Right.
And the planning and implementation of it was that the Youth Advisory Council members would co-facilitate with some of the professionals in those areas, and we would come together, they would come together with those individuals and have roundtable discussions. The day was an exciting day with food, fun, door prizes. Many local businesses donated items to make this event possible. And we also had a DJ that actually played music, and we had information tables where the youth actually got to go around and collect information. So they were pretty excited about it.
Now, what did they do with the information they gathered from that? Again, you're having a chance, as you said, they could talk with their peers and get feedback, not just from the Youth Advisory Council, but from the youth in and around Suffolk's community. What are they able to do with that information they pick up from there?
Well, at this point in time, with the information, they identify the issues, the causes, and the possible solutions. So now the Youth Advisory Council will compile that information. That information will be available on our website.
Great.
Once that information is compiled, and we will publish the results of that, and we will actually look into having another Youth Empowerment Forum, because not always do we get everything that we want, but we'll take that information, look at what the youth have said, because every year we also make a presentation to City Council. So we want to be able to address those issues and concerns and possible solutions to the city and the city officials, so that they can know what the youth are discussing, what they're talking about. And I think it was most important because we had the professionals and the adults there, so they kind of guided the conversations, and they kind of provided additional information, and they themselves were even excited about the event. So.
Now, you mentioned the Suffolk Youth Advisory Council. Tell us a little bit who is on that council and how someone, if they're interested maybe in getting involved, can get involved. Okay. But talk a little bit about that group.
The Youth Advisory Council is represented by youth from all middle schools and high schools in the city of Suffolk, including Nansman Suffolk Academy. So we have representatives from each of those schools. A member has to be a 7th grader. They can remain a member until their senior year, or if anything else should happen and they decide they no longer want to be a member, but they can continue to be a member. And we've had members, at least since I've been with the Office on Youth. We take applications July and August of every year. The applications are reviewed, and youth are invited to interview to be on the Suffolk Youth Advisory Council.
And again, what role do they play here in the city? I mean, you mentioned they will make presentations to City Council from time to time, but talk about their, because they reach out pretty far and are really involved in really good tools for you and for the City of Suffolk to use to find out, again, what's going on in the youth community out there. Right.
Well, they're really, a lot of them are involved in a number of activities, so they can actually spread the word about the activities that are hosted. They have monthly meetings. Okay. They have officers, and those officers actually meet about once a week, I believe. They've really been digging down and trying to really address some of the issues and trying to get more youth involved in community activities, some of our youth engagement activities. They do a lot of volunteering, a lot of community service. So they come together monthly, the first Monday of every month. The meetings are open to the public. Okay. So youth can come to the meetings. They would contact the Office on Youth if they're interested in either getting on the agenda to make a presentation to the Youth Council if they themselves have an idea. Right. So they're very open. They're a very diverse group, very sharp group. I enjoy working with them. Right. And there are 3 adult facilitators. We work along with them, helping them to guide them, and we're finding that a lot of them have a lot of leadership ability. Right. And they utilize that ability in their communities, in their churches, and some of the other clubs and programs that they're in, and we're just really excited about them.
Right. And I know you go to some of these events that you put on, and those are the folks that are out, as you noted, facilitating. They're usually wearing color-coordinated T-shirts, and you can find out who they are, but that way they're there, and you know someone is there to help guide you through the actual event, correct?
Exactly.
Got it. Yes. Well, great resource for us. Now, of course, we have a number of events coming up this spring that are youth-oriented, that are coordinated through your office, and the first one we'll talk about is the Increase the Peace event. Okay. And I believe last year was the debut, correct?
Yes,
so we're in second edition coming up, and that's coming up in March, and you're going to have auditions. Tell us a little bit about what that event is all about.
Okay, that event, again, the Youth Advisory Council, this is one of their special events. And when we talk about crime and crime against peers, peer against peer, or just crime in general, dating violence, and all of those things that they face, their thing is we want to increase the peace. Right. And we did that. And their brainstorming of coming up with an activity that they could have and host and engage a number of youth. And this program actually allows youth as young as 3 years old to audition in the fashion show. Okay. So we, again, partner with other agencies to bring about awareness, to increase the peace. The youth come up with different themes, school themes, sport themes, church themes, and they will wear those various clothes. And again, we partner with businesses for door prizes, for the clothing even. And again, adult facilitators help and assist with that. Okay. On that particular day, all the proceeds from that event goes to a local charity. Right. Last year it was Relay for Life, and this year it will be March for Babies. Great. We will have auditions for Increase the Peace, and they will be held on March the 3rd and the 10th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and March 7th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the East Suffolk Recreation Center. So all one would have to do is contact our office, or they can call East Suffolk if they're interested in auditioning for the fashion show.
Well, that seems pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
And of course, right on the heels of that event, really taking place about the same time, is FAME. And I believe this is the 10th annual event on that one. And that is tell me again what that acronym FAME stands for.
Future Artists, Musicians, and Entertainers. Okay. This is not a competition. This is a showcase of talent. We've had young people who dance, who sing, who art. They actually do paintings. They may mime. They may do spoken word. you name it, it runs the gamut. And this event is also, we have auditions for this event as well, right around the same time. So, you know, we may simultaneously have youth who are interested, you know, in modeling, but then they, on the talent side, they actually want to participate in fame. And those auditions are March 6th and the 15th from 5 to 8 p.m. and March 10th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. again at the East Suffolk Recreation Center. So we're really excited about that one. And I'm most excited because the proceeds from this event actually goes to towards scholarships.
Great.
And the scholarships are for youth who participate either as a participant or a volunteer. So you don't have to be in the show, but it's for a high school senior. You could be in private school, public school, or homeschool. But you have to participate in some way in the fame event, and all of the proceeds, we keep none of the proceeds for this event, and it goes to a high school senior. Hopefully, the high school senior does not, I think in years past, they had to go to college for performing arts or something of that. But you know, we want to give everybody an opportunity.
Sure, exactly.
We really want to give everybody an opportunity, and those scholarships applications are now available. They will be available through the guidance counselors and through the Office on Youth.
Okay. And I know we just have a few minutes left to talk about. Again, we have probably 1,000 and one other things we could cover through here.
Yes, I could talk
Jennifer,
about
you're doing a great
things.
job, and of course, you're really passionate about what you
Yes.
do here for the City of Suffolk and working with the youth, and we really appreciate that. But the YES, or YES, the Youth Engagement Services, talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
And the ages, I believe, are 11 to 14.
11 to 17.
17. I'm
actually.
sorry, I got my back into that wrong. I apologize.
11 to 17.
Okay.
Yes, Youth Engagement Services is a program that is designed to engage youth in volunteer, or if you will, community service activities. It's service learning. It's teaching them how to serve others. And we do that by way of developing a job bank. We accept applications all year round. The youth will be provided a list of special events that we hold in the city. They volunteer in things like Taste of Suffolk, some of the TGIFs, we have Seafaith Tillery Day. So there are a number of activities that they can participate in, along with the Youth Advisory Council members. But this year we are getting ready to embark on Global Youth Service Day, which is going to be April the 21st. That's a Saturday, and we're trying to get 100 youth to participate in Global Youth Service Day. So if you're interested, you would need to contact us on the website, or you can call the Suffolk Office on Youth at 514-4503 if you're interested in participating in the Global Youth Service Day, or Relay for Life. We also actually have a team. The Suffolk Youth Advisory Council has a team for Relay for Life, and we participated, and we collected, I don't know the exact amount, but I know well over $2,000 they raised last year for Relay for Life. So we are going to do that again. So those are two of the activities that we have for the Youth Engagement Services.
And we're going to finish up talking about Career Connections, which, again, talk about the age group there, and again, what this particular program can do for youth.
This program is designed for youth who are middle and high school, and we break them off 6th grade through 8th grade, and then 9th grade through 12th grade. And it's an opportunity for youth to actually explore careers and obtain work readiness experience. Career exploration for the younger youth, grades 6th through 8th, give them an opportunity through internet interaction. We bring in presenters. We actually do activities, the game of life. There's some other activities that we do in partnership with the Youth Career Center that's in Virginia Beach, and they do a lot of things via internet. So they can get an avatar and they can go in and explore different types of careers. With the older youth, we work with them to obtain resume writing skills, how to fill out a job application. We even talk about preparedness for college, how to fill out a FAFSA form, actually even how to write an essay for a scholarship. So we want to prepare those youth. So that's what Career Connection is all about. That program is the second and the fourth Monday of every month. It's held at the East Suffolk Recreation Center in the Computer Lab. And we have volunteers, retired teachers. We have presenters that we bring in to work along with the youth. So that's a new program for us. I'm really excited about it because it prepares our youth for summer employment or employment in general. We have had many youth who've come to us and, you know, they've called and said, can I use you as a reference? And and that's okay. That's fine with me. But I love to work with youth because I feel like all the things that we do, and there are a plethora of things that we do, but it's a continuum of services and programs, and that's what we want to be able to offer to the youth in Suffolk. And we're just really excited about it, and we're looking to do more and exciting things.
Now, Jennifer, one thing I know you've talked about a lot of opportunities for people to contact you or the Office on Youth. Let's give your phone number and your contact information. We'll also put up the website as well so we can direct people there because there's some great information and you referred to a lot of things that you can go on there and fill out. But how do we get a hold of you?
Okay, you can contact me at 514-4503 or by email at jbranham@suffolkva.us. And also we have a quarterly newsletter which you can access on the city website. So if you were to go to the city's website, you will see an icon that says Suffolk Initiative on Youth. It's a blue icon. Just click on it and you'll get all the information that you need.
Okay. Well, Jennifer, thanks for being with us today and sharing all the great information about what's going on with the youth in the city of Suffolk.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll have more on the scene when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're joined now by our director from Parks and Recreation, Lakita Frazier. Lakita, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
Well, you know, we just spent some time with Jennifer Branham talking about the Office on Youth and the Suffolk Initiative on Youth and all the great programs and activities she has going on. Now, I know there's some other programs that Parks and Rec coordinates that are going on, some of it year-round, some of it for spring break, some of it for summer, and we're going to talk about those now, give you a chance to kind of showcase your department with some of the great things that you and your staff do for the citizens of Suffolk. Let's talk first up about some of the continuing after-school programs. And again, you got a little bit of different stuff going on for all kinds of different ages, but specifically we'll start by talking about the Kids Zone and talk about the group that's geared toward as well as where that's offered.
Okay.
The Kids Zone.
Well, our Kids Zone after-school program is geared towards our elementary students. We have before and after care at 3 facilities, at Oakland Elementary School, as well as Creekside and Northern Shores Elementary School. At those facilities, Tim, we have what we call joint use facilities. We share space with Suffolk Public Schools. So the children come to us in the morning, then they go down to their classrooms, and then they come back to us in the afternoon. This program is open Monday through Friday on days that school is open. Very positive, structured program that is built to increase the social development as well as just having some fun with young kids from kindergarten to 5th grade.
Now, the parents need to drop the kids off for those particular programs, correct? After, of course, they're registered, got all signed up for the program. There's no busing from one location or to another for that, correct? No,
these programs are specifically for their site. Now, we do offer transportation from Driver Elementary School and Florence Bowser Elementary School to Creekside because they're so close in proximity.
Okay. Now, if someone wanted to sign their child up or see if there's any room left in some of those programs, where would they go?
They can actually go over to the facilities. The sites are open in the morning from 6:30 a.m. until 9 a.m. and then from 3 o'clock p.m. until 6 p.m. Or if they want to come during the regular working hours of the department, they're more than happy to come up here to our administrative offices located at 134 South 6th Street or just give us a call at 514-7250.
Okay, that's pretty simple there. Now, of course, we also have the After-School Express, which is offered right next door to where we are at East Suffolk Recreation Center. Now, there, the kids are coming from 6 different elementary schools and being bused over here to East Suffolk for that particular program. Tell us a little bit of how that runs.
Well, After School Express gives us the opportunity to fill what we saw was a gap down here in this area of the community and also to fill up spaces at East Suffolk to encourage more activity and offer opportunities for parents to have affordable after-school care. And what we noticed, we looked at the various schools that we don't have joint uses with and we looked at this as a way of bringing those children from those 6 elementary schools over to the East Suffolk Recreation Center. The program does does run the same days that we have the after-school programs at the other facilities, Monday through Fridays, days that school is open. But we've also started something new. On those days that you have the parent-teacher work days, we have now started Kids Zone play days at the Kids Zone site, and then we have programs also being offered over next door at East Suffolk for the after-school express children, so that all day long, with parents still having to work, we want to provide a safe, fun environment for their children.
Great. Well, I did not know that, so we learn something every day, don't
Yes,
we? A good way to help out the community there. And we'll wind up talking about, again, another ongoing program, Wreckin Cru. Now, that's taking place over at the Kings Fork Middle Recreation Center. And again, I assume that's going to be geared to students a little bit older than the elementary school level, right?
Yes, this is a middle school program geared towards that age group from 6th up until 8th grade. And the students come directly from Kings Fork Middle right to the back of the facility, where we have a wonderful multi-purpose room, and as well as the gym that is connected. We utilize both of those spaces. And this program also provides opportunities for young people not only to socialize, but they participate in sports clubs, reading clubs, movies, interactive video games, and the mentoring program is actually housed out of the Kings Fork Middle School Joint Use Facility. So students get the opportunity to become mentees and hook up with mentors out of this same facility.
That is great. Now, of course, we've talked about programs that are ongoing for before and after school in some instances, but you know, what's coming up sooner than you think is really spring break. And of course this year you have 3 different offerings for parents to look at for their youngsters to participate in. So why don't you take us through that list of things? And again, the key there is remembering, if you want to get in, you need to register early. And some of those registration dates are coming up pretty soon as well.
Our spring break camps, spring break for Suffolk Public Schools is April 9th through the 13th. So at the Creekside, Mac Bend, and those 2 sites up north, well actually Creekside up north, and then you have Mac Bend that's closer downtown, we have what's called the Mashup Camp. And this program is offered for students from kindergarten to 5th grade, giving them the opportunity to have somewhere to come during spring break if they're not leaving town. But they'll have arts and crafts, guest speakers, field trips, and a variety of activities at those facilities. So you do need to get registered either at Mac Bend or at Creekside for those programs. For our athletic group, this year we added something new. We added the basketball camp. And so this camp is geared towards that young person that is constantly wanting to improve their skills in basketball, as well as coordinating with the Office on Youth to have a life skills component tied into that. And those workshops will happen as a part of that camp. And that will happen next door at the East Suffolk Recreation Center during that same week, April 9th through the 13th. And finally, this year we also added for that outdoor adventure, the learning about nature through discovery. That program will be held for students 7 to 10 years old at Lone Star Lakes Park.
And of course, as you noted, spring break is coming up starting the week of April 9th, I believe, right? So again, when are the registration dates? When can people start getting their youngsters signed up for these 3 programs?
Actually, they can start registration March 1st. However, please still stop by and pick up the information. If you want us to mail it to you, we are looking to also add additional information to our website as we get closer to that registration date.
And another big registration date that's coming up this spring, which is just sometimes you have people waiting in line all night long, is for the summer programs. And specifically, we're talking about Planet Rec, where again, some folks are lining up wee hours of the morning to make sure their youngster gets involved with that program. And that date will be here before we know it. And again, that's coming up in March. And talk about, you mentioned something earlier when we spoke off camera, that you're changing your registration structure for some of your summer programs to kind of coordinate things a little bit better. So let's talk about Planet Rec registration and also the bigger picture when we're looking at summer programs, which again, a time that'll be here before we know it.
Definitely. Registration this year will start for all of our registration program, all of our summer programs, March 24th. And that is a Saturday. Registration will kick off at 8:00 a.m. We've moved the time up a little earlier because we do recognize that those citizens are getting in line and are waiting and trying to get into the program. This year we're also looking to expand our the number of students that we take at each site, because you don't have the students come from the beginning of the summer to the end of the summer. We allow them to register in sessions. This year we've also changed where your registration fee will also cover your field trip fee. So there are no additional fees or additional checks or money orders orders that need to be written. So we're constantly working at ways that we can improve and make it a much easier and more efficient process for our parents. So we're excited about this year, especially just streamlining a lot of our processes. We will be going back to having our parent meetings. We found that it's so important to increase that communication, set that expectation, and provide as much information as possible.
Well, I think if everybody's on the same page, it only makes for a good, rewarding experience for everyone as well, right?
Exactly, and it makes for a wonderful summer for our children.
And which is what we're shooting for there.
Yes.
Now, of course, when people are thinking about, well, look, you mentioned this program or you mentioned that program, or I want to get some more information or find out more, of course, we can always turn to the City of Suffolk's website.
Yes.
Which, again, Parks and Rec has a great job and a lot of information there that you can pick through, both on these programs and other, if you're looking at Adult Sports League, all these things are noted there. But what's a good, solid contact number for them to reach out to so someone can direct them internally within the department?
514-7250.
Okay, well, pretty simple there. And, of course, we'll make sure we have that information on the screen so people can get this, take this down, and make sure you can find out when and where you need to be to get involved with all these great programs. Well, Lakita, thanks for spending some time with us today. And, again, appreciate the fact that Suffolk Parks and Recreation continues to expand and look at their customers, if you will, and look at ways to give very great customer service for both the parents and for the youth as well.
Well, thank you for having us. And don't forget, don't hesitate, recreate.
There we go. Words to live by there. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching this edition of On the Scene. We'll see you next time.